If you missed it in our last video, I have decided to build a forever town. I have decided to just lock it down and make myself a world that I play in forever and create amazing stories and have so much fun in. And what I narrowed it down to is BrindletonBay. We are going to build a town inspired by Once Upon a Time. Storybrooke, Maine. Once Upon a Time. Maybe a little bit of the Good Witch too has slipped in there since I made that last video. So this is going to be a whimsical, magical little town, or at least I'm going to attempt that. We'll see how it actually turns out.
Talk to me, baby, I've been waiting for a lifetime. Just keep on fading.
And we are getting started today with this lot right here. What used to be originally Pepperstone Park is going to be our ground zero for this town. I'm going to make this lot, the build here, this is going to be our cemetery, our church, and I'm going to try to make this feel ancient, like as old as I can make it feel. And then we're going to build the town up from there. Like what I would like for things to seem like you can see the progression in architecture, you can see the progression in materials used, that sort of thing. So on this lot here, I think I'm going to stick with a lot of stone and just see if I can make something that feels like it's been here for literally ever. Now, the thing with BrindletonBay here is, you know, we have this Main Street area here, and then off to the side is what I feel like is the thriving town, the town that has been built up. You've got that building that kind of looks like a church, but I think it's probably town hall. And then a handful of other buildings. Of course, you know, I love too that this area just bridges right on the countryside. You got this old red, you know, bridge, which just brings back so many memories for me of, well, actually Star Trek, but also Little House on the Prairie. And you've got countryside and trees for as far as the eye can see. So I feel like this little town is just nestled in the forest. Again, bringing me back to Once Upon a Time, to Storybrooke, you know, the little secret town that was conjured by magic. And I'm not going to do conjured by magic because, like I said, I want to show the age over time with stones and bricks and architecture changing and that sort of thing. It's going to be a little. This is not going to be some matchy cute little town. This is going to be, yeah, it's going to have a story. I hope. Obviously, that's always my intention, is to build story. So in the last video, I was showing you some of my Pinterest board. I'm going to show you a little bit more here because I've been looking just at churches. I had a really hard time deciding because I like churches. I think that they're just beautiful. And I love the vibe too. Like when you get into a really old church, especially when they have cemeteries, maybe that sounds creepy. I don't know. Of course, it's Halloween. It's that time of year. But I don't know. I find most of the time, you know, I find them very peaceful. So much happens in a church, in a town over the centuries, you know, so much has gone on. Celebrations, births, weddings, funerals, grief, you know, it's just hope, faith, prayer, all of these things go on inside a church. And so that's why I wanted to build the church first. I really want it to be kind of our cornerstone for our town, because this town, this build, my forever save file, this one anyway, I really have decided I want to make it very, I don't know, old-fashioned. I want to go old-fashioned. I want to go simple. I want to build a little town where everybody's nice and kind and true love exists and magic exists. I want to create my own ForeverWorld. So we're going to we're going to get right on into this and start the build here. I'm not doing a speed build because I thought it would be, I don't know. I'm more, my personality tends to lean itself more to like a let's build, like let's just build this together and we'll go through all of the pieces. So we're not going to get it finished in this video. This will probably be part one of like 3 or 4, I would imagine. We're going to get the building built. I'm also wanting to build something else on the lot that also seems very old, like that it's been there for a long time. So anyway, let's go ahead and get some basic shapes down here, get some materials out, and yeah, see what we can create today. All right, we shall start with the obvious. We need a rectangle. Now, I kind of have decided on this as my main inspiration piece here because I really like the way the entrance and like the steeple and stuff were off to the side instead of centered right in the middle. So that's what we're going to do here. And just create that. And then the steeple should be, I don't know, I think it should be really tall. So we're going to do like 3 stories on this, but the top one should be a little shorter. Okay, that was more struggle than it was worth. I could not get that top floor to do what I wanted it to do. But it's good now. I like it the way it is now. I just had to make the bottom floor a little bit bigger because the top floor was, I had a set size in mind. So we're good. We're good to go now. Should I make this 2 stories? No. Yeah? No. Yeah, I think this works. It doesn't compete too much with the town hall across the street. That was my main concern because that across the street is kind of a similar vision to what I had for the church, and I didn't want them to look identical. But like I could see them like, you know, in time as the town grew, you know, they needed it. Maybe like originally they were making do with the church as also like a town hall, but then they created the town hall across the way. So it would be similar, but not the same, if that makes sense. I don't know. I overthink it all, but you know what? That is the point of The Sims. I try not to overthink my whole life. I do overthink The Sims. Okay. Need to find a door. I don't know why I'm starting with the door. I just, like, I visually, I can see this bit where the door is, so see what we can find there. I want there to be steps on the outside, but I don't want to raise the whole thing up. So let's just do a platform. Yeah, that's cute. I like it. These are the windows from, what is it? My Wedding Stories? I feel like, you know, 100 years ago or 200 years ago, whenever this church would have been built, you know, people did put a lot of money into their churches when they could, like when they had their town. I think they spent money on, I guess it depended on the town and where you live. Little country churches wouldn't have, but I feel like this one is such a staple for this town. I feel like they would have gilded it a little bit, so I don't mind going with a fancier window. Just I'm trying to decide. I think I might have it too big. Let me put these pews in from Wedding Stories. Yeah, I can pull this down a little bit because I want to leave space on the lot. I still have to put it in like the graveyard and all of that too, but I want us to leave space on the lot because I want to build something else over there to the right. Because this is a big lot. I don't want to waste it with just one thing on there. because we only have 3 lots in the main downtown area. So I want to max that out and get as much bang for our buck as I can get, because this is it. That's all we're gonna have, Put a bathroom in here. I also want to put a basement in, because I think we're going to need more space than this, especially when it comes to like weddings and funerals. You're going to want to have a party room. So I feel like I'm going to put that down in the basement. That will work for right now. We'll come back to it later to decide. I'm using a lot of nature awaits in here too, because like I said, I want this to be like, this church is old. They hand carved things back, when they built this, and people, they would have loved their church. They would have put their heart into it. They would have put their best work into it. They would have wanted it to be, I'm thinking about it in the time, they would have really wanted it to have been like an offering to God, to the God of which they knew. And, I'm very spiritual. I know what that feels like for me, to want to be connected and grateful and show like love to the universe, to God, to, that which as God. So I feel like they would have done that. I totally forgot about Castle Estates. I like these windows better. They look older. They look more weathered. Yeah, I like these a lot better. But now I don't think the door that I chose works. So let me see. What does the Castle Estates door look like? I can make that work. I think. Yeah, I actually like that. All right. Now, let me see. You know what? I haven't assigned... Put these windows on here. I feel like maybe the steeple was made at a different time, like a later date, like they added that. So I feel like having different windows might be okay, like smaller windows, but still with the leaded glass in them. Okay, let's reshape the church just a little bit to spread these windows out just a little bit more than this. They were a little, for a window that size, you don't really want them that close together. You know what I mean? Those are big windows. They would have cost a lot of money, and they're spending that much money on them, but to cluster them bang up next to one another, well, that would have just been dumb. Oh, you know what? I haven't set this to cemetery yet. Hold on, let me do that. Let's pull out some of the items that we're going to need for cemetery, also just to give me some creative ideas. We definitely are going to want like at least one crypt. I'm going to set these out. I'm not looking at colors or designs or anything, just so that I know, like kind of referencing what I've got to work with. Does that casket go on a stand, or does it just go on the ground? I haven't really played with funerals that much, actually, in Life or Death. Is it Life and Death? Life or Death? Life and Death? Whatever. Ooh, look at these. These are fun. Plus, I know there's a bunch of other, these are just the Life and Death ones. I know there's a bunch of other tombstones, like dog tombstones, horse tombstones, and base game ones, I think, even. Oh, that bench is so cute. Oh, I love the idea that this bench has been around since the dawn of time. Love that. This Adventure Awaits bench is freaking adorable. Oh my gosh, I think that's my new favorite bench. I love that. All right, so anyway, all of that can sit there. We'll do that in a later video when we get to landscaping and setting up the graveyard and everything. Wish I could raise that up a little higher, but then it's going to do that weird thing where it clips into the wall, and it's just going to get weird. I don't know. I want it up higher, but that doesn't make sense. All right, it's fine. We're playing The Sims. This isn't actual architecture. All right. So let's see. What kind of materials do we want for the building? I mean, this is like a stone brick, if you will, which I like. And I like this from the Castle Estates too, how it's got the green, you know, it's like the moss or whatever is growing in between the cracks. I like that. That looks good and old. I like it. But like I said, I think the steeple or this other part of the building, I think was added on at a different time. So I want to make this a different material. I love this new brick from Adventure Awaits. I love that so much. So we're going to use that. And we've got, brilliantly, for whatever reason, they gave us a platform in the same brick, or in the same stone, which I love. And the staircase in the same stone. The Sims rarely really gives you stuff that matches. I don't know why that is. But they did this time, and I'm going to use that. Even the flooring, the stone flooring will work from this pack. There we are. Yeah, the stone flooring will even work. Oh, this is going to look so good. Look at that. Like, that actually looks like it was all built, like, at the same time with the same stone or brick. Yeah, I love that. Let's fix the roof because the roof is way too modern. And since these were built at a different time, I want 2 different roofs on here too. Let's put I love the new trim too with both Adventure Awaits has a good trim, but the nature pack had a great trim. The fairies were fine. I don't play with occults very much, so that was like neither here nor there for me. But I love and have built extensively with the items, the build items in that pack. I love all the naturey items, the wood frames and windows and doors and the furniture, the countertops, oh my goodness, the bed, oh my gosh. I played a game just for myself recently where I just had a sim that I was trying to see if I could live outdoors with 7 babies, 7 children, you know, and I mean, you have to put the infants in a bassinet and the toddlers in a toddler bed, but once they're children, they can start to do the nature trait, and they can just sleep on the ground too. It was fantastic. I loved it. But the little cradle from this pack is so cute. It's so sweet because it's like the carved wood. It looks like, it just handmade, beautiful, beautiful little bassinet. But anyway, welcome back to this game. That is good. I can live with this. I like it. I like it very, very much. All right, I paused for a moment. It's been a minute since we last saw each other. I'm working on the inside of the church now. I was just kind of playing around with some patterns and stuff. I couldn't really find something I liked, to be honest with you. But I think I'm going to go with this because I like the wallpaper. It's kind of got a cross pattern on it. And again, symbolism, especially 100, 200, 500 years ago, symbolism was everything. And so I feel like having the wallpaper have like a cross in it. I know that that's not technically what that is. I can't think of that design has an actual name, but it looks like it's close enough. It looks like a cross to me. And I think the symbolism of that in a church is just beautiful. So that's what we're going to go with. And this is a little wood paneling, which is older because it's not like the church would be still sitting the same as it was on the inside. As it was 500 years ago. They would have updated stuff. I've got a nice floor in here. We're not moving into decorating the inside. I'm just trying to get a feel for if I've got the right size for the church and, you know, is this going to work? Do I need to shift or change anything on the outside? But I think we're good. I think this looks really good. And I think that, you know, obviously a lot of work to be done in here before it's ready, but this is coming along. I'm quite pleased with how this is all going. All right. So, that being said, let me just let me tweak this here for a second. I'm looking for the did they not have like a guest book well, actually in either, in the funeral, for the funerals or for the weddings. You could come in and sign in. If they do, if you guys have seen that, I think I might have had custom content at one point that had that. But if you guys have seen that or know, will you let me know in the comments, and I'll go looking for it when we actually come in here to do the church. Whew. All right, I'm so excited about this. I'm excited about the world. And thank you guys for the comments. And welcome to the new subscribers and all of that. I actually kind of rushed into the build, and I didn't do my usual kind of like, what I like to say to you guys is, wherever you are in the world today, I hope you're feeling blessed and loved and safe and seen. And it's important to me to tell you that. So I want to go ahead and put that in here now, although I know I could re-record this and put that at the beginning, but I just want to make sure that I tell you guys that because I feel that way. Part of the reasons I do videos is because I want to connect with you guys, and I want to send out. The world's been kind of dark and scary the last few years, and I just feel like if I have any love or light that I can put out into the world, I want to do that. I feel like it is a really important time to do that. And that's a big part of the reason I'm doing videos, to be honest with you. Because I could build happily in a corner in my room and not have to edit them and think about, narration and all of that. But yeah. We're all part of the, collective. We're all part of humanity. We're all sharing an experience on this sphere floating around in space. And I want to put out good things. I think there's a lot of dark out there right now, and I just think it's time for light to come back. So, anyway, rambling. Back to our church design. Okay, so I think that is a really good start for the church. Now, I want to do something here on the right. I've had something in mind this whole time, like the last few days when I've been really thinking about this and everything. I just don't know if I have the design skills to pull it off. Plus, I don't use the tool mod, and I feel like I might need it to do that. I like can't use it. I'm not skilled enough to do that either. But what I would like to do, my idea or my thought, I'm just going to start building here and we'll see how it goes. But my idea or thought is that the building next door was like the old mill. Like they used to mill all the flour and stuff here. Like, because that's just, I don't know. It just seems like a very old town. That would be something that they would need or that they would have. So I want this building here to look like it was built somewhere between the church and that steeple area. And I'm stuttering and stammering. Sorry. I want to use the water wheel from Cottage Living. I just don't know if this is the place for it. I want to use it somewhere in the build. I was thinking about using it out on the island, and that might be actually where I end up using it. But I wanted to see, is it dumb? Will it be dumb if I put it here? Do I have the talent to use it actually? I mean, I can do it I've done it before. I've done it in like home builds and stuff, but I don't use the terrain tools all that well, like to do ponds. I tend to do swimming pools. Oh, I could do a swimming pool that just looked like a pond, but I don't really want people swimming in it. Let me get that. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with this. I have a vision in my head. Like, I can see how I want it to look, but I'm not even sure why. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Put your ideas in the comments. What should this building next door to the church be? Like, think about it like it's been here forever. It's like the second building they ever built as the town. And that's why I like it. I like the idea of it being like the mill. And I mean, back in the day, it could have been like a general store, a livery, maybe. I could put some like horse, the thing that you tie your horse to. I could put those out front. I could put a barn in the back, maybe. Oh, wow. I don't know. let me play with the train tools and see if I have any shot in doing this. Let me see if I have any kind of talent or ability to build any kind of water here that is gonna work. Oh, I just sunk that. Because it's gonna look weird regardless, because it's not like I can, you know, tie it into the lake over there or the river over there, but I can make it look like maybe it comes, because there is a lot of water in this area. There's just off to the right there's that, you know, covered bridge that has the waterfall. Some of that water could, in our imaginations, but could stream over this way. I mean, it could. I don't know. It's like part of me wants to not do this and just say, oh, forget it. I'll put the water wheel out on the island, and because this is dumb here, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? No, we're not going to do that in this town. We're going to follow our imagination. We're going to follow my imagination. I'm going to follow my imagination. There we go. Let me take some ownership. Let's put some mud down here. I'm going to take ownership. I am going to follow my imagination. I am not going to judge myself. I am not going to judge my builds or my abilities. I am just going to try to create something. If it doesn't work out, it won't work out. And then we'll bulldoze and we'll build something else. But this is what I want to see if I can make work. So this is what we're going to put here. And I am going to play around with it. And we're going to see if we can naturalize it, you know, in time. Probably when we come back on the next video, we'll work on some landscape maybe. We'll do that because I feel like I want to get the outside all done before we move on to the inside. Because I feel like if the outside looks good and the landscape is all done nice and I'm like, yes, this is our lot, this is what I want to do, then I will be a lot more willing to like really throw myself into the inside. But if the outside looks stupid, it's just, you know. And you know, we've got to build a graveyard. Yeah, we'll probably work on all of that on the next video, which I'll try to get up. I'll try to get that up in a few days. I have been very lax on videos on this channel, but moving into this, I've also slipped into a different routine in my like actual life, so I have more time to build and record. So we are going to. I feel like I need the tool mod to make these rocks work, but if I cover around them with plants, that might be okay too. And then of course, because I got distracted by the rocks, I totally forgot what I was saying. But I'm gonna when I'm going back through editing, I'm gonna be like, dang it, I didn't finish that thought. But anyway, we're gonna get the outside done here. We're gonna get the main structure done today. I have more time in my life right now to create videos. So yeah, that is the thing we are going to do. And I'm not just building this world. I'm going to be playing in it. And I'm thinking actually of rotating through some of these videos in the beginning so we don't get too entrenched in any one thing. Like, I don't want my channel to suddenly look like, oh, this is a building channel, because I really want to be a storytelling channel. That's what I've always wanted to be. So whereas we do need to build these things, I felt like it was just fun to share the creation process with you guys. You know, this isn't a build channel. It's going to be a story channel. So I'm thinking of like rotating through, like once we're going to do this and we'll do the landscaping in the next video. And, sorry, I'm distracting myself with the rocks again. And then I think maybe the video after that, we'll do we'll get like the starter of like our next. Oh, those are cute. They've got moss on them. Oh, I love that. I mean, I think that's okay. They're big rocks. They're sitting on top of the water, but our imagination can say that they're coming up from underneath the water. So I think those will be good. And then I've got to introduce you to characters and stuff like that too. Actually, starting in the next video, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some character introductions to the end of each video. So You'll have to stick around and watch to the end, and then you'll get to start meeting the characters too. I don't really even know. I know the first character I want to do, if you guys have been with the channel for a while and you remember Ella and her story, she ended up dead. And in the very last episode of her story, she was trying to get the ambrosia. She was trying to come back to life, and she made the ambrosia, but she had a relationship with Lane Coffin, and Lane Coffin was a ghost too. I think, what's her name? Octavia, what is his girlfriend's name? Anyway, I think she killed him. But anyway, he's a ghost too. So they ended up in a relationship together. Lane is not a good guy. She was gonna, Ella, okay, you'd have to watch the series to really understand. Ella's got this whole story that goes on. I'll link the playlist in the description box. But she's got this whole story that went on where she was trying to do a market stall, and her mom really wanted her to go to university, and so her mom offered her money for the shop that she wanted if she would go to university, and so she went to university and she died. So now she's a ghost, but she doesn't want to be a ghost, so she was trying to get the ambrosia, but she's got a really soft heart, and she does that thing that I think we all do, especially when we're young, where we, think of everybody else before ourselves. So she wanted to see if Lane wanted the ambrosia, so she made it, and it was sitting on the counter, and he came over. He made it disappear. I was so mad because it took so long to get that ambrosia, to get the ingredients. And if he had come back from being a ghost, I could have written that into my story head, but no, he disappeared it. I was so frustrated and so mad at that point, and I haven't played with her since. So I'm going to actually go back in and play with her and see what we can do with Ella, because Ella came from BrindletonBay, and she always wanted to live in the pink house. And I still think that I want her to be in the pink house. So I think she's the first character we're actually going to reclaim from things that I've done in the past and put her in BrindletonBay. Most of the characters will be new characters, but my little heart couldn't quite let go of Ella being the one that's in the pink house. So that is probably what we're going to do. And that video I'll probably have time to do that this weekend. So it'll probably be up next week sometime. All right. So this all looks really good. Just get these windows. I feel like if this is the mill, I don't want to put windows on the bottom floor. I don't even know what will we put. I honestly don't know what to put in this building, because obviously it's not going to be a working mill now. And we've got 3 floors. I can put stuff in it, but what? I mean, I could do, apartments, but which would make sense, except for that it's not going to run in the game that way, not with that being a graveyard. So I don't know. Give me some ideas, you guys. What should we put up here in these, or in this whole building? So I don't really know what to put down there. And I still kind of like the idea of, if it was a livery, to put a barn out back. So we'll have to see. We'll see where that goes. But I'm pretty happy with this on the whole. I don't hate the water wheel. I don't hate the way that's turning out. I can see it possibly working. So I'm gonna bring this video to a close here. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. If anything in this video made you feel like I deserved your like and or your subscribe, I truly appreciate you. That blesses my heart. I do want to grow this channel the best I can. I've got a lot of life changes going on, and I would love to be able to devote some more time to this channel. So it would be really great if it would grow. So I really do. I appreciate you for being here. Appreciate likes, comments, and subscribing. It really does help. You guys know, you hear it all the time. It helps with the algorithm, and that algorithm can be such a beast. All right. I'm wishing you all a very blessed day, afternoon. It's morning here when I'm recording this, but wherever you are in the world today, I hope that you're having a great day. I hope that you're feeling loved and blessed and safe and seen. And I will see you guys on the next video.